Hey y'all, I came to film my second video. I also wanted to let y'all know I am not an editor. I am a very new YouTuber and I'm not doing a lot of editing because I don't know how to do it. Hopefully in the future I will be able to edit videos, put like funny GIFs and little snippets of things in my videos in the future, but right now this is what you got. This is what we're doing, okay? So it's very Peter Mon, one take. Hopefully you don't mess it up or forget you wanted to say something. So today I wanted to talk about what to do after you get diagnosed. After you get diagnosed and you know what you're dealing with and you realize that you have an incurable disease, a lot of times people go straight into depression or panic or not know what to do next, you know. And what I realized happened to me in hindsight looking back is that I feel that I was paralyzed with fear. And when that happened to me, I clung to the doctor that diagnosed me and tried to follow all the protocols that he set out and, you know, medications that he wanted to try, instead of doing what I probably should have done, which is looking for a doctor that specializes in pH. I should have done that. Looking back, I would have done things totally different had I known, but I realize now that fear and panic kept me frozen with that doctor. I recommend to everybody dealing with pH and just being diagnosed, give yourself some time to have the feelings that you have. Let them come up. And it is okay to cry. It is okay to have days where you can't get out of bed. But so long as the next day comes, you make sure you get out of bed and continue to live your life. Do not give in to the depression. Do not give in to the what if, because there's a lot of what ifs, but we have to realize that in the time being, you are still alive. You still have a chance to fight, and you still have the opportunity and choice to take your medicines, look for outside treatment, look for a support group. I'm not really good with support groups per se, like they have support meetings and things of that nature. I'm not really great with them, but I do find that people on Instagram really help me and support me, and I'm comfortable through that filter of support. I do like the comments and the social network that I have on Instagram with my pH friends, and I feel so close to them even though they are so far from me, and some people are in different countries, and that's what I do to help me, and it really does fulfill me as so far as like dealing with how I have, you know, my support network. My family is my number one for sure. My husband, my parents, my children are like my main reason for all things that I do. But listening to your doctors and finding good doctors that know what they're doing, have dealt with it, specialize in pH, is something that I strongly suggest to anybody dealing with pH. Don't let yourself get paralyzed in fear the way I did. Go out and look for a second opinion, and that doesn't mean leave your doctor and go find another doctor. It means you have your doctor, go visit a different doctor and see what they say. Get your tests done, take your tests with you, show it to other people. You know what I mean? There's always different opinions and other sorts of treatment sometimes, more than likely. After we get diagnosed, the first question everybody was like bombarding me with, which I kind of learned to deal with, was, well, how did it happen? How did you get this? What did this? Because I don't know if it's transference of fear. Tell me how you got it so that doesn't happen to me, or a lot of it is we have children, you know, is it something that's genetic? Is it gonna happen to them? And I realized that when people were asking me that, I kind of got frustrated because my mindset was so much like, I need to focus on now and getting better, because at that point I was so close to death. I was so sick. My focus was not, how did this happen to me? What, you know, oh my gosh, because first of all, you can't go back in time and change anything that got you to where you're at. All you can do is climb yourself out of the hole that you're in. And that was my main focus at the time. So it was like a sense of frustration, a sense of that's not really anything I give a crap about right now. My focus is getting better, getting these heart pressures down, being able to breathe, seeing, you know, how long my lifespan is going to be. Am I going to be getting a double lung transplant? Is what's going on, you know? So that question, what's going on? How did this happen to you? I found ways to deal with it. I would just tell people that's not my concern right now. Finding out how this happened, finding out like what I need to do right now is my main concern. And I realized that once they kind of got like, okay, she doesn't want to talk about that right this second, it kind of helped me with that situation. So I always just suggest, you know, kind of come up with something that you're gonna say when those times come along, and don't let your emotions come up, because they are always asking you out of concern. People are asking because they're concerned for you, but sometimes we can feel the fear through their questions. So I chose not to tell people a lot of things about me being sick, because I did not want people to asking me questions like that I did not have the answer to. So when I was in the hospital, I was in the ICU, I was very sick. I didn't have my family, my cousins, my, you know, faraway cousins and, you know, aunts and uncles and everybody come see me, because I did not know what I was dealing with. And so some people may get offended with ill people that do that. They're like, oh, they're pushing us away. They don't want us to, like, you know, be there for them, and, you know, it must be signs of depression. And for me, I can only speak for my story. It was not that. It was very much, I don't know what the hell I'm dealing with. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know if I'm gonna live. And my main focus and priority right now is finding out what I'm gonna do and focusing my whole entire heart and spirit and intention on that. And when you are very sick like that, it takes everything you have not to quit on opening your eyes the next day. I would look 5 minutes, make sure that 5 minutes passed. Okay, I gotta live another 20 minutes, and breathe through those 20 minutes. And it takes every ounce of focus, energy, mental energy that you have to not quit on yourself and to keep living. And so all the secondary family issues and, well, she didn't invite me to come see her and they didn't tell me she was sick, all that becomes something that is not even important. Now that I'm better, I do feel like I can share my story, and I do feel like I can tell people, hey, yes, I have PH, this is what's going on, because I know what's going on with me. I know what to tell people. When they have a question, I have an answer for them. And that is one of the main things that a lot of people that aren't going through chronic illness or things like this can't understand. You know, they're like, oh, they're pushing me away. They don't care about me, you know, and it's like, people dealing with chronic illness have to mature very, very quickly. And it's not that we're out to hurt anybody's feelings or make anybody feel like they're not loved or cared for. It's just mainly that we need to focus so immensely on ourselves during specific times in our life that there is no room for anything else. Sometimes there's not even room for your family or your husband or your children. There's days that I get very sick that I need to just focus on myself. And having a family that understands that and loves us through that is something that I cannot even express how grateful that I am and how blessed that I am to have a family that understands that. But my main team, my home team, is very supportive. They understand everything that I'm going through, and I'm so grateful for that. And make sure you always tell them that you are so grateful for that. Other things right after getting diagnosed, other than taking your time, letting yourself is for me and for my journey was accept where you are. Accept where you are. This is my situation. This is where I'm at. And that's okay. Everybody is going to start their journey at a different place. Somebody might not be as sick as you. You might be sicker than somebody else. Somebody might be sicker than you. Wherever you are in your journey is where you're supposed to be. That is the exact thing that I can tell anybody. Where you go from there, how you dig yourself out, how you take your baby steps to get better and things like that is all relative to everybody's journey. And don't feel like you have to push your body. I have to push my body to do this. I have to push my body to do that because so-and-so said with this treatment they did better. That does not apply to any one of us. Her treatment, my treatment, this and that. Knowledge is power. Learning everybody's treatment, learning the different medications and lifestyles is always great. But that does not mean that it's going to be your ticket out of this situation. It's not. Because I've taken very different medications and had different treatments and they've worked differently, and I've done well and I've done bad, and I've done well and I've done bad, and I did great and I was walking all over the place and then decline to where I'm only walking around my house. And then I've been bedbound. I've, done better and declined. So this disease is a journey, and be grateful for wherever you are. There's no such thing as, good and bad. You're perfect the way you are. But that's pretty much what I wanted to share after getting diagnosed, after receiving those papers that say this is what you have. Not letting yourself fall into that pit, trying to make good decisions for yourself, because now you're dealing with a whole new situation, and doctors and medicines and things like that are a whole new situation. But perks of being sick is the mind shift that you have to focus on yourself. Because so much time I realize now that I was focused on everybody else, that I wasn't focused on myself or doing anything that I needed to do for my life or to take care of my body. And being sick and having a reality check really slows you down, and it really lets you know, like, holy cow, like, taking care of myself is important. Like, I didn't realize that my body was gonna break. I didn't think that that could happen to me. And the perks of having the illness, and I know you cannot see those perks right now because you're just newly diagnosed. The perks of having the illness is letting you focus on yourself. Really understanding that life is very short. We don't have a lot of time to be here, and our bodies are very fragile. People that are strong, like I used to go to the gym and I used to be strong and diet and bike ride and pull my 2 children in a cart, behind me on my bike, and I was strong. I was a strong person. We feel that that is never something that's going to happen to me. That's for, that happens to random people, not me, But it can. Anything can happen to anybody. We don't know when that's going to happen or who it's going to happen to. It's just like somebody getting diagnosed with cancer. We don't know when or how or why, these illnesses choose whoever they choose. But whenever we are the chosen one that gets the diagnosis, it's what we do with it. It's how we show that journey to the world, because we are strong people, even though we are physically not strong people. I cannot even carry my groceries inside. Mentally, emotionally, we are strong people, and everybody here on this planet has purpose. So just understand that you're where you're at, you're where you're supposed to be, and hopefully medications will work well for you, and follow all your doctor's instructions. I've been very blessed to have great doctors, and I've moved doctors. I have transition stories that I can share later. But every day is a blessing that you're alive. If you're watching this video right now, that is a blessing. that you have the capability to get on YouTube, and you know, the freedom to do and look and find hope wherever you can find hope is a blessing. Look at life that way, because after diagnosis it's very hard to find joy. It's very hard not to be stuck in fear and live again. But you can live again. I'm here, I'm proof to show you that you can live again. Your life will be very, very different. Your normal is very, very different now. We have a very, very new normal. But you can do it, and I'm doing it, and we're doing it together. And sorry I can't edit anything. Sorry, I don't know how to do any of that stuff, but hopefully I will be able to find somebody to help me, or maybe I can learn. I can YouTube some videos or something, but one day hopefully I'll have those fun videos with the like noises and GIFs and cuts, and be able to make you laugh, not just like my face, my giant eyes making you laugh, but hopefully soon and one day. But for now, this is what I can do, and if I'm reaching you, I'm so glad that I'm reaching you. Please subscribe, like my video, turn on notifications. My hope is that I send hope through all my PH community, because we do have purpose. And if you're ever lonely or need companionship, you can always turn on one of my videos. Hopefully I'm going to be making more videos. Me, your PH friend from Texas. Thank you. Bye.